Hello, welcome back to this video series about improvising a solo Baroque prelude inspired by Bach's cello prelude in G major. I'm Robert and this is the Ensemble classical music improvisation channel. What have we done so far? We were improvising with rhythms, meter and phrasing. We added the dominant and subdominant chords. We worked with a rhythmical motive. And we worked with a harmonic motive, namely the bergamasca. So far we focused on the main notes of the chord tones. And when we were in G major, we focused on the G, the B, and the D. In this way we can really feel the harmony clearly, and a listener will also sense that we are in that one harmony clearly and purposefully. So it's time to fill in the chords with some lovely extra notes. Here you can see that I have colored the main notes of G major and left the in-between notes, the non-chord tones, black. An interesting pattern then emerges where we have a chord tone, non-chord tone, chord tone, non-chord tone, chord tone. So that keeps alternating. And then there's two non-chord tones, and again the chord tone, and we'll get back to that in a bit. We also focused on meter to get a sense of whether we are in 4, 3, 6, 8, etc. So one approach to adding the other notes to our chord tone and still keep track of the chord that you are in is to make sure that on the main beats of your chosen meter there is a chord tone. So if we are in 4/4, like here, the main beats of 4/4 are generally the first and third beat. So here's a simple example of how this might work. So on the first beat, I have a chord tone. On the second beat, it doesn't really matter, so I put the A. On the third beat, I have again a chord tone, and then another non-chord tone and chord tone. And indeed, you can see that our natural pattern from the beginning, this alternating pattern, fits perfectly onto this 4/4 meter. Now, as I warned you kind of before, when we get to the D, we get into a bit of trouble. Now we have two non-chord tones, so either we can speed up here, or like Otto also does in his prelude examples, he just keeps this tone a bit longer because the D, the fifth degree, is anyway important as well in the key, so why not elongate it a little bit and really arrive there. And that sounds like this. And at the beginning, to help yourself, you can also kind of accentuate those notes a little bit, but don't keep doing that. That's not very musical. So this is a rather strict approach, and you'll see that lots of music doesn't quite abide by it all the time, but it's a good starting point. So this might be a bit tricky to practice at first. You might want to immediately make music and have all these ideas and still get lost. So here's a way that could work to build this up. First, play the main notes with a rest in between, like so, with a metronome. As a next step, I could add this lightning bit. Basically what that means is that you're going to move your fingers or your voice or whatever you use to make the music randomly, but you still have to arrive on the next beat in time. And this should give you a sense of where the beat is, even though you're doing all this other stuff. Now next I might want to do the opposite and actually really organize what comes in this rest. For instance, these eighth notes. And I'm still even using the same chord tones, basically like what we've done before in the videos. Now next I might then, on top of this kind of skeleton, try to add some different notes. Like this. Here, of course, first I still added chord tones, but here I'm starting to change that a bit. Now you could do the same, but pick a different rhythm here, and in this way start varying your options. Thanks so much for watching, and of course share, subscribe, join us on Patreon for all the PDFs of these videos, more examples, etc, etc.